here's how the Sieve's going to work. I need a table who would be willing to work as a team and put pink Post-its under all the multiples of 2, excluding 2. Tell me your name?
Mary.
I saw Mary's hand first. Mary, could you take some people from your table, and could you guys start putting pink Post-its under all the multiples of 2, excluding the number 2 itself?
If everyone else could open their binder to page 1-5, please. We're going to visually do this on the wall as well as color code a hundreds chart. So up in the corner we have the code. I'm just going to steal.
Oh, that's an interesting one.
And we already crossed out the number 1. We decided that that is not prime or composite. But the first prime number we are looking at is the number 2, and we're going to use pink for the number 2. So we're going to circle that first prime number. And then the code over here. In the boxes of all the multiples of 2, we're going to put a line in the corner. Now you can do just a line, or you can color in. Can you guys see that? You can color in the entire corner if you would like. So we're just going to go down and mark in the upper left, did I say right earlier? Upper left corner, all the multiples of 2 with a pink. We're doing pink to match the Post-its.
Nice.
If you don't want to wait and you want to choose another color, that's fine.
Thank you, team from this corner of the room. While the rest of us keep up with Christina on the hundreds chart, is there a team who'd be willing to put a blue Post-it note under every multiple of 3, excluding 3 itself? Not everyone all at once now. Thank you for volunteering. Tell me your name again. Cheryl, I was going to guess that. The more people that get involved, the less tedious the task
The more
will feel.
fun it is.
Thanks. You guys want to
So we're
split
going
those
to
up and
use the
share with
blue
Carol and Jessica?
for number 3, and we're going to use the upper right-hand corner of the box.
And you could just like...
How would you show us how to without
I don't have a gun. I have nothing but an overhead projector.
Oh, that's awesome.
And so I do an overhead chart, and I do one for every class. Yeah, these 2 threats or 2 different classes.
Have to teach the same thing as different classes. I find I do it once and then I end up having to do it. Yeah.
Are you guys done with the blue?
Here, use that. And so I'm just curious, did you have any shortcuts or ways that you save? Because so what I realize is like I'll find something I've done in my second period that I should have done in my first period. You know what I mean?
Thank you very much.
Sure. Cool. Thank you, group in this corner, for helping us out with the threes. What kinds of multiples should we be marking next? We did twos. We crossed out ones. We did twos and threes.
5.
Why 5?
If there's 5's the next number not marked.
It's the next unmarked number. It's the next prime, yeah?
Why isn't it marked?
Because it does not have 2 or 3 as a factor.
Cool.
4
Yeah.
is already completely marked up with pink.
All the 4s are also 2s. Interesting. Okay, cool.
Oh no.
And they're in columns. So yeah, in this sieve that we're working on in the back is going to help us sift out the primes. So yeah, is there a group who would be willing to mark all the multiples of 5 excluding 5? Awesome. Thank you for volunteering your team. Tell me your name.
And we're going to do 5 in the bottom right corner.
You guys can feel free to, tear off Post-its and
So
share
circle
with
that
each other.
number.
So all the 5 excluding 5 itself.
Orange.
I got more orange Post-its if you guys want to jump in. I gave you like 2.
Yeah, just that's right.
All right. Thank you, Greer's team, for putting up all the 5s for us. Next on our sieve in the back of the room, we're going to, well, what should we mark next? 7? Why? Next, it's the next prime? Cool. Is there a team who would be willing to mark all the 7s, all the multiples of 7 excluding 7 by putting a yellow Post-it note underneath? Yeah, thanks, Sarah, for volunteering. You guys have a small team, but that should work out for this number. Because we're going to mark 7s. Thanks. Shouldn't be too many. Excluding 7.
Yeah, but I marked one prime.
All right, so if we're going to keep sifting for primes on the number line in the back of the room, what multiples should we look for next? Yeah, 11s. Why 11s? It's the next prime. Okay. Is there a team who would be willing to mark the 11s with a white Post-it note?
So we're going to use green on the hundreds chart.
We didn't have green Post-it notes.
No.
Who hasn't volunteered? Which team? Well, you guys already did. You guys already did one. Thank you, though.
And we're going to do 11s with straight down.
Nice. Would you guys be willing to help me out with 11s? Nice. Thanks. Here you go. You guys some Post-its. There shouldn't be too many.
That's what I had. So we're going to go straight across for 13. This way.
And you guys lucked out. We're out of Post-it notes.
We're out of Post-it. So we're just going to do it on the hundreds chart.
So we'll just do 13 on the hundreds chart, not on the number line. Okay. If we were to mark another number or another set of multiples on our hundreds chart, what multiples should we mark?
17.
17. Why 17? So next prime. Do we need to mark all the 17s?
17, 34, 51, 68.
These guys are rattling off their 17s over here. That's cool. Do we need to mark all the 17s?
Adam was very adamant about it being no.
Adam says no. All the multiples of 17 are right. All the multiples of 17 between 1 and 100 are already marked by other numbers, except 17 itself, of course.
Why?
Yeah, why are they all already marked by other numbers?
Because it's 17 times 2, 17 times 4, 17 times 5, and 17 times 6.
Right, we got multiples of 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Those are all the 17s that fit from 1 to 100. What's 17 times 6? 102. So 1, 2, or 2, 3, 4, and 5. So we got those first 5 multiples of 17 are already marked. That's an interesting observation. So now I'm sort of backtracking. Did we need to do the 13s?
If we were going to stop at 100.
If we're only looking from 1 to 100, Adam says all the 17s are already marked. So we're trying to sift out the primes. Marking all the multiples of 17 wouldn't help us sift out any new primes. Did the 13s help us sift out any primes?
No.
So that means all the 13s were also marked already? How about the 11s? Did those help us sift out any new primes? Darn it. Okay, let's keep going back. Did the 9s help us sift out?
7.
Oh, we didn't do 9s. Did the 7s? Thank you. I was testing you guys. Did the 7s help us sift out any new primes?
Yes.
Cool. So here's the big question. Why would it have been okay for us to stop at 7? Or why was 11 an unnecessary set of multiples to look at if we're just looking at the numbers 1 through 100 and we're trying to identify all the primes? I'll give you some think time. That's a really big question. Maybe ask a person at your table if you have no idea, turn to someone at your table and say, hey, what do you think? If you have an idea, turn to someone at your table and say, hey, I think this. Go.
Bless you.
Anyone have any amazing insight from their discussion at their table? Who's pointing at someone? Who are you pointing at? Oh, we're pointing at Adam.
We were discussing that since the first page is bounded by 100, which is 10 times 10, you just need the primes below 10 to give you all to sift out all the non-prime.
Like 10.
Because this is the square bounded on the side. So 11 would give you 121.
What do you think about that?
I like that.
Sounds legit.
Sounds nailed it. Well, yeah, it's almost too simple. And if you think about, so 10, it's like the multiplicative midpoint between 1 and 100. 1 times 10 is 10, 10 times 10 is 100. It's like a ratios thing. And if you think about multiples of 100, or not multiples, if you think about like factor pairs, you start listing factor pairs of 100, you start small, you go 1 and 100, 2 and 50, 4 and 25, 5 and 20, going all the way. 10 and 10, then it's 20 and 5, and then it's 25 and 4. So you see sort of the symmetry of like the commutative property that after you get past that 10 and 10 factor pair, you're getting the same factor pairs in a mirror image of each other.
So let's check for understanding. Then if we extended this to 200, what would be the smallest prime number we would have to sift for?
18.
Oh, no.
13.
Yeah, something
What
lower.
would be the smallest prime number?
We would have to
Oh,
sift
14.
14.
No, 14, not that, 13.
13.
So 13.
Why 13?
Because
15, 15.
15,
25, yeah.
59 and the square of 17 is 289, so you
Yeah.
wouldn't have to go past 13. You'd only have to do 11 and 3. Then you'd only have to go to 19.
30.
We said the 400 would be 19, right?
Yeah.
So is it fair to say that 13 is the largest prime that's smaller than the square root of 200?
Mm-hmm.
Is that what I'm saying?
Yes.
Crazy.
So, okay.
Is it?
We put that, yeah.
Using my mathematical vocabulary. Cool.
So we're going to have you explore this hundreds chart a little bit more. You might want to take it out on 1-7 and 1-8. There's some questions that are like getting answered. You can work together with your team. You're going to need to see your hundreds chart or the Sieve in the back in order to answer this. So we've done this. Now what? What do we do with it? So go ahead and engage in that activity right there on 1-7 and 8.